To both of you, the fourth quarter is always the crunch time. It's always the money quarter. Just what did you do to play within yourselves and find a way to secure a result today?
Um, we had to get stops on defense, and once we were getting stops, it was turning into our offense, and that's what got us going. And we were able to hit shots, get stops, and that's what won us the game.
PJ, what did it mean for you to just be back out there today and just be able to make such an amazing contribution for your team?
It felt really good. I know my teammates have faith in me and that I can deliver, and so I just didn't want to let them go, let them down. So yeah, I just played like I had nothing to lose.
We're happy to have her back.
Meg, for you, obviously, the family connection, it's been asked a million times, but to have it in front of you today when you set 2 career highs, just what are the emotions that run through your head as you go through that?
I mean, it was definitely really high, looking up and seeing both of my brothers there for the first time. Well, not for the first time, but TJ for the first time. So I'm happy he was able to come to a game during his All-Star break, and my family's always there to support me, so I think the blood was rushing for me, and this game felt good to me.
Precious, we'll start with the play inside. You guys as a team had 40 points inside the paint, but aside from the scoring, a lot of screens getting set, a lot of physical play inside, and to the point where your coaches were kind of lobbying for you because there's some picks being set. In a game like that where it's so physical and there's so much going on, how do you try to balance the aspect of maybe not trying to push the envelope too much but still being aggressive?
I think just playing freely, not forcing anything, but just being confident in knowing what I can do, and that is setting screens, attacking the rim hard, getting rebounds. So I just put myself up for the challenge, and I think that's what allowed me to be successful.
Coach Burks talked about this maybe a couple games ago, just how many times during the course of the game you're setting screens and really giving the body up. That three-pointer by Nay, at that point off the pass by Maya, you set the screen and set all that in motion. And Dan's talked about doing all the small things. When you're able to have a game like this where the small things add up, especially in critical moments, what does that do for your confidence knowing that your teammates can deliver when you do the small things right?
It does a lot. It makes me want to work harder because I know my teammates are going to hit those shots. So I want to set them up for the best possible possibility to make those shots.
Meg, you talked about all the adrenaline flowing with the situation with your family being here. You played all 40 minutes in this game. And this wasn't a game where it was just like you coasted where you threw. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of momentum swings. But at the same time, each of you all got opportunities with only 7 players. Everybody got opportunities to contribute. In a game like that, of course, you had your own opportunities to score, but everybody's chipping in. What's it like knowing that everybody's trying to put a hand in the pile and get a game like this that's so hardly contested to pull it out?
I mean, when you have, 3 or 4 girls scoring double digits, you're not going to lose many games. So I think just everybody contributing and seeing the ball go in the hoop gives us a lot of confidence, and it just lets us know the game's going our way. Let's just keep shooting. And so it felt really good to see everybody get the ball in the basket, especially Lauren. She got to get going a little bit. So I think it just gives a lot of people confidence, and it makes us feel more connected as a team throughout the game.
You mentioned Lauren. There was a point where I think it was like a 12-point lead, and Amaya was shooting a couple free throws, where Lauren kind of cracked a smile. And that was the first smile that your entire side had shown throughout the game. You can tell everybody was mentally locked in, and no one was really coming up for air until this one was over. What was it like in the huddle with you guys interacting with each other? How was the mental, how were the vibes going with everybody trying to work through this one?
Well, this game was so back and forth. I mean, since the second half, we started off hot, and then they caught up, and then it kept going back and forth. So we knew we just had to stay grounded. The game was never over. So we were just telling each other, we have to lock down on defense. We can't let them get driving kicks because that's what they're good at. So we stayed in front, we boxed out, we got the rebound, and we let it fly on offense.
And this is for either of you guys. In a game like this where there's a lot of evenly matched here between the two teams as far as just looking at the profiles, but this felt like one of those games where the competitor in you comes out, where you really want to get this one out, even if you're kind of giving your best effort and it doesn't work. But this felt like one of those games where the competitor comes out, where you really want this game. How did it feel with either of you, knowing that you had to buckle down because neither team was going to give a lot of ground?
No, it felt good. even in the locker room, we talked about one of the main focuses was we could not relax throughout the game. And I feel like that's what really got us going and allowed us to be successful.
One more home game before you get ready to finish off the season and get ready for the A-10 championships. What does a win like this do, knowing how tightly contested it was and how much you had to battle to get it? How much does that help for your confidence, knowing you got one more home game, then you got to get ready for the conference tournament?
Well, we knew Richmond was coming in really confident, coming off 3 straight wins against very good teams, and so we knew they had to come to us on the road. So I think we defended our home court and we played well in front of our fans, and we know they're a good team, and they were seated before. I think
They're
they're one ahead of us,
ahead of
and
you.
so we knew we needed that win.
In the second quarter, you guys were consistently feeding PJ, and whether it was a basket or drawing a foul, it really led to what Coach Dan says about the post touch. How much was that sequence maybe even more opening up the offense where it created those more looks and open looks for everybody?
Well, PJ's just such a dangerous weapon that we have on the block because, I mean, if you play her one-on-one, she's going to score on you. So you have to either double her, and if you do, we have shooters on the floor. But PJ just has so many moves to her game, and I think when we run 41 or if we do 1, which is like the high ball screen, it sets PJ up to be in the best position to score.
It's not just one more home game. You guys set a record last game with 3s. You have a chance to set another record on Wednesday with home wins. Just what would it mean to have another history book for yourselves, regardless of how the season goes for the rest of the way?
I think it would mean a lot, especially going into the A-10 tournament. I just have faith in our team that we're going to get that win, and if we play as hard as we did tonight, there's no reason we won't.
Good.